47 seconds before the fireball, a quiet number on a pressure sensor slips out of range. No alarms, no shouting. Just one value crossing a line on a screen. On the pad, the biggest rocket ever built looks perfect. The computers say green. The flight director calls go. But deep inside that stainless steel shell, a failure chain has already started. It isn't a typo in the code. It isn't a random glitch. It is a deliberate engineering trade-off. One gamble SpaceX made years ago to squeeze more performance out of Starship. And in this episode, we're going to follow that gamble from design review to fireball. To understand why this ship dies at max Q, we have to look at the one part SpaceX never really wanted to build. The hot stage ring, a steel collar that lets Starship light its upper stage engines while it's still bolted to the booster. Normal rockets separate cleanly, then ignite the second stage. Starship does both at once, firing a flamethrower into a metal cup that's still attached to its own fuel tanks. This saves weight. It adds payload. It makes the rocket look brutally efficient. But it also creates a focused heat spike that stainless steel cannot survive without serious, heavy shielding. So SpaceX wrapped this ring in armor, rigid, tightly mounted shielding plates designed to take the blast. And that's the problem. The shielding doesn't fail because it's weak. It fails because it's too strong, too stiff to absorb the hit. So the load has nowhere to go but straight into the tank below. On Flight 9, that's where the first unseen damage begins, in a piece of armor that protects itself by sacrificing the rocket. While the outside is cooking, the inside is starving. This is the ullage problem, the dead space where fuel isn't. When a rocket pitches for its return burn, millions of kilos of propellant slam against the tank walls like a liquid hammer. If you don't control that slosh, your engines don't drink liquid, they inhale bubbles. And in a Raptor, a bubble isn't a hiccup, it's a bomb. At 30,000 revolutions per minute, hitting a pocket of gas feels like ramming a brick wall. The blades snap, the shaft seizes. The engine doesn't lose power, it tears itself apart from the inside. SpaceX knows this. That's why they added slosh baffles, internal walls and vanes that tame the liquid and keep the inlet wet. In calm flight, those baffles do their job. But during max Q, the air outside hits hardest just as the fuel inside is at its wildest. On our reconstruction of Flight 9, the load doesn't break them during the flip. It breaks them before the flip even starts, while the rocket is still clawing its way through the thickest air. So if SpaceX designed for slosh at the flip, why does the telemetry suggest the baffles were already failing 10 seconds earlier? Now, imagine there are 100 people strapped into that cabin. They don't feel the hot stage ring ignite. They don't see the baffle tear loose. All they feel is a rumble that lasts half a second too long. On a bad day, that's all the warning they get. The escape window from first hard data to unsurvivable breakup is less than 2 seconds. Any crew abort system has to react instantly, fire, separate, and get clear before the booster shreds itself. But remember that hot stage ring we wrapped in armor to save performance. In our scenario, those same plates that survive the booster's exhaust now redirect the abort plume. They shape a shockwave that hammers the nose tiles from below. The crew might escape the fireball, but that shock-damaged heat shield is waiting for them on the way back down. They might survive the explosion, but they won't survive the re-entry that comes next. This is the ruthless calculus of Mars. To reach another planet, you don't just add power, you delete parts. You shave kilograms from valves, from shielding, from backup systems that exist only for the rare, ugly days. Every time you say no to redundancy, orbit gets easier and Mars comes a little closer. But each of those deletions moves the line between grave test and avoidable disaster. Starship Flight 9 doesn't fail because of bad luck. It fails exactly the way its design says it will, when one aggressive trade-off finally meets the wrong conditions. SpaceX trades complexity for simplicity, margin for payload, armor for thrust. And somewhere in that stack of small yes or no decisions is the part they deleted one time too many. The good news is, rockets can learn. Each failure chain points straight at the missing margin. Add back one shield, reinforce one baffle, open one more escape path. Until those choices are made, the road to the red planet stays closed. In the next chapter of this series, we'll pull apart the real performance data behind these trade-offs and ask where SpaceX draws the line between bold and reckless. I am the cartographer, and this is the Atlas.